Welcome to Tell the Damn Story, the show that explores the many ways to navigate the successes and failures that aspiring and struggling writers face to make your journey that much easier.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Alex. I was just meditating and becoming one with the universe. I learned
Which one?
From your godson when he was about 7. He came home from school and they had taught him how to meditate. So he would sit on the floor and cross and put his hands like this, elbows on his knees, and go, but with a little smirk on his face. So
I don't think he still does that, does he?
Yes, what?
He doesn't still do that, does he?
He does things that, he's very good about keeping his vision and all that. So whatever he does, that's great.
Okay,
and we're going to talk about some stuff that you can do, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, welcome to Tell the Damn Story.
Where are we?
We're in Tell the Damn Story, episode 4007, 8, 9, or 10. We're like 408 or 9, something like that. But we're here. I'm Chris Ryan. Occasionally I say I'm Alex Simmonss, but today I'm Chris Ryan, and I'm kind of a hybrid author. I have been an award-winning journalist. I've been a teacher. I've been an actor. I have played in bands. I have written self-published or independent publishing and traditional publishing, both fiction, nonfiction, and poetry. That's who I am. Alex says I don't give myself enough push, so that's who I am. Pretty damn amazing, ladies and gents. Check out my Substack, weekly newsletter, and all sorts of other crap. There you go. That should satisfy him. Ladies and gentlemen, that's with a capital T. The Alex Simmonss, creator of great stories featuring Batman, Scooby-Doo, Archie, and all the gang. And who else has he covered? Tarzan, he of the apes.
Yes.
Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
He of the elementary, my dear Watson.
Yes, that too.
So many other creations, both fiction and nonfiction, both well-known and
unknown,
creating new things. He added a great character to the Batman series called Orpheus. We miss him, and we demand that he return. And
with me writing him, though.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the guy who made a new American hero for an era where we really need American heroes. That's right, Aaron Blackjack Day, an African-American soldier fortune from the 1930s, dealing not only with the racism of the time, but the hellacious goings-on where a hero is needed. You read those stories, and they look like yesteryear, and they feel like today. It's an amazing, amazing experience, and you should check some Blackjack out as soon as you can. Boom,
Thank
boom,
you for
boom.
that.
You know who would be great performing as Blackjack?
This is called segue, folks. Who would be great
performing
as
Blackjack here with a segue?
Yeah.
You know it would be really great?
Who?
Michael B. Jordan. Oh, I must now say Academy Award winning or Oscar winning
Michael
B. Jordan. And a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, despite the fact that he would be perfect for Alex's character, Blackjack, we're here to talk about some inspiring things he had to say, some generosity of the soul he was able to share with us, all of us, not me and Alex exclusively, all of us, because he spoke at the press conference after winning this Oscar, with Oscar in his hand. He spoke about his process, and you can see it on YouTube. Matter of fact, we're going to keep it short so you can watch. The link will be in the comments or in the show notes.
Yep. But, either way, it will be anywhere we can put it. We're going to put it there.
He talked about journaling, about each character that he brings to life.
And by the way, just as Chris is going to go into this, but I just want to say, if you've been listening to any of the 407 other episodes of this show, you will know how many times we have talked to some degree about this kind of technique for your character creation. So take it away, Chris.
He does journaling to fill in the backstory There's a slug line for you. The backstory of his character. And you'll see in the video that he talks about starting from what he would think the character's earliest memory would be, and then progressing from there until the first page of the script. And he takes his clues from what's presenting in the script, which is fantastic.
I got to ask
Let's
you,
see if that.
just, I'm sorry, I know you're in a role,
Please,
but
sir. Please, sir.
why would doing something like that be useful to a
Right. Well,
writer?
the more you know, that's right. That's why we're talking about this, because it's applicable to you as a writer, right? So doing backstory on your characters informs you in a very deep level about who that character is. And what happens as a result is that it is easier to write your characters having known, or once you know all this stuff about them. You may not use every fact that you discover about them, but you'll be informed. For example,
An
you might,
example. I always love examples.
yes. Well, let's say you have a character and you're thinking about the backstory, and you may thought, well, what was their life like as a child? What was their home life like? Now, if that person grew up in a rich household with money everywhere, like Scrooge McDuck money, right? And if his friend from the army grew up in the Dust Bowl, and mom was raising 7 kids and dad had disappeared, and sometimes they didn't know where the next meal was coming from. Well, those little details are going to inform how the two of them deal with meeting on the street and one of them saying to the other, let's go get a bite to eat. Right? That's probably going to be the rich guy or girl. The other guy has a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in his backpack because he grew up needing to pinch those pennies. And if they find themselves in a restaurant, which one of them will be more put out by the prices? Who would be really hard pressed to feel good about paying $5, $10 for a glass of Coca-Cola or whatever, $18 for a hamburger, right? The rich person wouldn't see it. Doesn't make any difference. The person who has struggled for every penny, every dollar, all his or her life, it would mean something completely different. And that's just one example of the richness that doing backstories can bring to your characters. And that's why we want to talk about them today. And if you wait to the end,
you'll be at the end. Right.
you'll be at the end.
But we
then
also
you'll say,
have
hey,
something for you.
I did that.
Yes.
No,
we'll have something
there'll
for
be
you.
a free gift.
Yes. That's right. A free gift. We'll take you out for a glass of Coke.
So $7 glass of Coke. No.
Yeah, not 18. Right. So again, you were saying about Michael.
Yeah. So Michael B. Jordan, if you look at his filmography, I mean, he's done a lot of work with Ryan Coogler, but one of the signatures of his contribution to those roles has been consistently fully formed, very rounded characters that makes it easier for the audience member, the viewer, to accept whatever is going on in the story and to go along for the ride, right? And that allows people who are consuming the story to get more out of it. If you're resisting the story the whole time, you miss the nuances. If you're fully accept, if you give yourself over to the spell of storytelling, you come out with a fuller experience, as if you had been there, as if you knew these characters, right? And it's well worth the work. And it's something that you as a creative want to offer with your own work.
So let me
we
go
should
back
talk
to
a little bit.
let me go back to what you expressed about what Michael said. And again, folks, you can see the link in the comments section so you can
Right.
go
So
watch
that's
it
why I don't want
yourself.
to give everything that he said away so
No,
that it's
no.
worth
But
looking
but
at.
when he talks about journaling from childhood to the character in the script, when we look at that, Chris was just saying about an example of how that backstory can support you. It's definitely that the nuances are something that some of my students miss, and I'm going to say why in this particular scenario. If you're studying to be a writer, if you're studying to write novels or studying to write screenplays or stage plays, nuances mean subtle moments. Sometimes they're visual, sometimes it's when the subtext of comments or dialogue, but it's not overt. It's not a blunt statement. It's subtle. And if you're not paying attention to a portrayal, if you're not paying attention to the visuals on the screen because you're looking at your phone or you're drifting off and you miss the nuances. And sometimes the nuances fill in such depth of character or story that you miss it. And then I've heard people go at the other end, well, I didn't know that they were going to do such and such. Well, didn't you see when they did such and such? No, because you weren't paying attention. So as writers,
This kind of watching of stories.
yeah,
Why
yeah,
why did you even turn it on?
yeah, exactly. And so the thing is, writers and actors have the same responsibility to be aware and observant of the world
Yeah,
and to build their characters from a core place, even if it's a supporting character. You don't have to go like miles deep into their backstory,
right,
but you need to know something of where they're coming from so that the moments they have on the screen or on the stage or in your book, those moments of interaction feel authentic and
right.
pull your audience in.
Well, and that comes from doing the backstory work,
Yeah.
right? Pre-writing work or backstory work. Let's use another example we'll put this person right alongside Michael B. Jordan, J.R.R. Tolkien in The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, over 1,000 pages of storytelling. However, once it got really big, by the end of the last one, they put in appendices, which were all of the history of Middle Earth that Tolkien wrote for himself. You can tell the style is more professorial and less engaging because
Hmm.
he didn't write it for publication. He wrote it so he would understand the entire history of the world he was creating. It's one of the
Which,
reasons why they keep going to the well to do a different movie or this or that, because there's so much in the appendices that they can draw on. But
and
none of
that
that was meant for telling the story. It all helped him tell a story.
that makes the world or the character more real to you, the creative,
Right.
and subsequently, they then help you forge the story
Right.
because you
Now,
begin to get a sense of what they will and won't do, where they will and won't go, what they will and won't say. Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan said he wrote journals.
Mm-hmm.
I do many journals to fill this out, right? And that's what works for him. And for Sinners, he had to do two sets because he played two different characters. And Tolkien wrote entire world histories. Now, we have to lure people off the edge of the cliff here because
Right.
some of
Going,
them
I
might be
can't do
thinking,
that.
I
I
will
got
have to write on 1,000 pages before I get to page one. To
put the
each his own.
candle back.
To each his own. You go as deep as you feel you need to go. Some say, well, is it just the lead character? The antagonist could work even better if you have a history for the protagonist and antagonist. Well, how about the second banana? Well, if you have the time, if you have the inclination, sure. But it depends on you. It completely depends on you and what works for you. What we're saying in this episode is that delving into backstory and developing backstory enriches the tale you're telling. how much you want to delve in, how deep you want to go. You're going to have to find a comfort level for yourself. I know, for example, Mallory and Gunnar, my detectives, I know most of their life. There's some spots that I haven't played with yet in Mallory's existence, so I can delve and find some more things. There's a lot more because I needed to understand Gunnar. I understood who Mallory was because his current life, his married family life was what drove him.
Mm-hmm.
Gunnar is very much a freewheeling character, and that is to his detriment and then to his honor. So I had to play with that and go back. I even went so much as to change Gunnar's gender to see if all of his experiences would work in another direction. I didn't go in that direction, but that was part of backstory that I did for him. His body type was about the same, no matter what gender. And his experiences, though a tougher road as a woman, were pretty similar. But it informed very much how those guys act. And I can write any story about them now because that stuff's in me.
Right.
I know how they'll react, and I know the subtle differences between the two reactions, and they always sound different. They don't sound like the same character. You ever read something and everybody sounds like the same
Because it's
character?
the writer's voice throughout.
Right.
That's it.
Because they didn't do enough backstory.
Right.
So that's another thing that makes this episode worth saying, hey, I'm glad I'm here. If you're having a problem with everybody sounding the same, do more backstory.
I'll throw this in quickly because I normally talk about.
Oh, you can throw it in slow. Go ahead, brother.
No,
I'm
I'll
here
throw it
for
in.
you.
Right.
I'm here.
You're here for me. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I'm glad you're probably wondering why I've asked you here. One of the old series that I created and wrote some material on, haven't gone back to in a long time, is a series I wrote called the Demon Chronicles. And it was a story about two psychic detectives, if you will, who dealt with the supernatural, and they were part of this organization that dealt with that. And initially, when I created the lead character, James Coleman, I knew that he had a secret in him, and it was something that was going to affect his metabolism, and really it's a scary scenario, and he was eventually going to become more of a threat than even he was, prepared for. But I often wondered, like, how does he interact with some of the other characters? And I gave him a female partner in this, and I had to work on her background and try and understand if she's there longer than him, then how does she see him and all that. And what I found was, you start to pull from some of your own experiences, but then you also dig beyond that because it's not you. You're not necessarily trying to put you in this situation, but you can sample some of that. But then what makes this character? And then how does this character talk? And how does this what's his motivations? So eventually it led me to, okay, he's going to go through these first 5 or 6 stories dealing with this, and we're going to learn this and this and this and this about him. But then I wanted some sort of a big reveal for him as well as the audience. And I kept thinking, what didn't I do? What didn't I do? And so I went back to all of the backstory material that I had written. I went back to some other things that I had thought about, notes and things that I put down that I hadn't used, and came up with an idea. And I went, ooh, what if? And that's a great thing. It's a great question to ask yourself. What if? And then run with it. See where it takes you. And that what if led to the penultimate story that I did, which was for me was crazy, but it was also a storyline that I hadn't seen done before with a supernatural or horror kind of character. And so sometimes just the backstory, just revisiting the backstory, you discover some more things that can propel you and give you even more to write, whether you're working on a novel or a series or whatever.
So it's a kind of a gift that keeps on giving,
Yes.
and it's
Yes.
well worth it.
Perfect.
Right? Like that?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. Say it again.
It's the gift that keeps on giving, folks.
There you go.
Backstory. Be
there.
good to
Aloha.
yourself.
Yes.
Give yourself some backstory. Now, with more vitamins and iron.
You're sick, man. But anyway, we're serious about this though. Backstory really does help you in so many ways. It does
Yes.
so much impact on the kind of quality stories that you can tell. And
Yep.
Michael B., thank you for bringing this up at
Yep.
that very auspicious occasion.
And
Because
it's only a couple of minutes long, but it's really worth watching
yeah,
because you see the conviction that he has for backstory.
you
I
know,
have
one
to
other
brace
thing I can
myself.
just one other thing that
You do
also
whatever you
makes
want to do. I'm bracing myself.
yeah, no, but I was just going to say one other thing that I'm glad, another reason I'm glad he said it was, as you said, he's done several films with Coogler. He's done other work, but he's also done several films with Coogler. And we've watched from Creed forward that,
Well, from Fruitvale Station forward,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, from Fruitvale. But I'm saying, you know, the bottom line is from these films, he has become a bigger and bigger and bigger prominent figure in the Hollywood and the cinema landscape, but he still holds to that discipline, right? And that's what he's not going to, oh, I can play anything now. I just throw that to the side. No, he's using what works, even as the stakes get higher and his paycheck shows it. I'm going to do the work because it
Yeah.
works.
Yep. And he's not getting paid for the backstory. He's
No,
getting paid for the performance. He knows this is what helps his performance.
yeah.
And it can help your stories as well. Oh, damn. I knew we would
You know
get to
what?
this.
I got something.
Damn
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna. You're
I knew
talking
it. I
about
knew it was
helping
coming,
people.
ladies and gents.
Yeah, yeah.
Let
You're
me
talking
just
about
brace
helping.
myself.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. See, we just talked about helping, right? And talk about Michael. Chris, and we've mentioned this in numerous episodes of the 400 and plus, that Chris has a list of bio questions that he asks his characters. I have a short, tiny list. Mine is Pluto in the galaxy, right? Whereas his is the
Mine is Uranus. No, no.
no. We did that in the other episode. Okay, you know, Chris has a list of questions. The last time we talked about that list, I believe it was 150 to 170 questions.
Something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Right. Okay. And it's mind-boggling to some people that why would you ask that many questions? But he knows his people. He knows his peeps, and it has worked for him on countless projects. But Chris is also he has promised, he has commented, he has stated, he has mumbled that at some point in space and time he was going to share that list, put that list out there
Oh,
into the world, into the public, so that you folks would be able to obtain it and be able to utilize it to help you tell your damn story. And Chris, I don't want to make a thing out of this.
it's already a thing.
Oh, it is? Okay, good. Well then, Chris, where the hell is it?
Okay. You know what? I'm going to
What?
throw myself on the mercy of the court.
Okay, okay,
I saw this great thing on procrastination.
okay.
And they said sometimes procrastination is just putting it off, but so many people think of it as laziness and all that sort of stuff. A lot of procrastination is because you haven't made a fundamental decision yet.
Ah, okay.
And whenever I go to publish this, I did promise I would publish this and make it very, very affordable, right?
Yes.
Um, Whenever I do, I have this formatting issue. So here is my pitch to you and to everybody. And
Okay.
you can go, I know you can go on Facebook and all the other places where we have Tell the Damn Story and spread this question. And then whatever the consensus is, I'll do that. Okay.
Okay.
So I have somewhere around 170 questions. I'll probably try and push it up to 200. That would be a cool marketing thing. 200 questions to help you fill out your,
Your character, your
enrich
universe.
your
Yeah.
characters, right?
Yeah.
And it's applicable to whatever character in any genre, any gender, any walk of life, anything. One idea I have is to put like an introductory section in where I explain the process and what you can do and how you can use it. And then The rest of it is just the list of questions.
Okay.
The other thing, and maybe for like the first question or so, I would say, here's how this would work, right? I think I'll probably put that in the introduction. See how you see me wavering? The other thing is to put an explanation for each and every question. But I resist that because it seems like it would get redundant. Once you kind of understand the process, I want to get out of the way and just let you play with the questions. So here's my question to you, audience, beloved audience. Which would you prefer? Would you prefer introduction and then just a list of questions? Or do you think you need an explanation for each and every one of the questions?
200 questions, yes.
Whichever one you think would work for you. Tell us in the comments below or wherever Alex puts this, because he tends to do the social media for Tell the Damn Story.
Yes, I also do the production, post-production,
Yes,
promos.
You know what I do? You know what I do? I sit here and I do goofy shit. That's what I do. Once in a while, I throw a pearl your way, but mostly it's goofy shit, and he does everything else. That's how it goes. But whatever the consensus is, that's the format I will do. And let's say we try by August, we'll get it out.
Okay. I'm going to make it
it'll
even
be
easier.
really affordable.
I'm going to make it even easier for the audience. I'm going to make it a yes or no. And you can just check off the box. Which one? So they don't have to write anything out. They can just check off.
Introduction and list.
Yeah.
Or explanation for every question.
Exactly. It'll be just tick or
box
tick.
A, box
Yep.
B.
There you go. I'll make it real easy for folks.
Cool.
Okay. And on that note, oh, you know what? I tell you what. You want to give them a little taste? Maybe we could leave a one sheet, little link in the
I think you have it, yeah.
And you could get like what, 20 or 40? What do you want to give them?
Let's give them 20.
Okay, we'll give you 20. We'll give you
so
20.
If you look down
if you go 200,
below,
so you're going to give you 10%.
That's right. We're giving you 10% up front. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. First taste is free, yo. You come back, you better bring a little cash, baby. We're talking about a couple of pennies, a little ducats. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, God help me. Okay. Yes, all of that, all of what he said. But I'll put that in the comment section as well. And on Facebook, anywhere where you can find Tell the Damn Story, you'll be able to put in.
We're here to help you tell your damn story.
But I'm bumped. Michael, thank you so much for what you said at the event.
And congratulations, Michael.
Yes.
Well deserved.
Oh, yeah. Major congratulations. And folks.
And to Kugler, he got an Oscar, too.
Okay, but he didn't say, no, you're right.
That's the original script. Yeah. We're a words podcast, so you got to give him some props.
I think I'm going to stop resisting. I'm going to accept his next phone call and get him on the show.
It's about time because he's been asked.
Yeah,
All right, ladies and gents.
Everybody, you take care. Chris,
check it out. Let us know, and I'll get moving on it.
Okay. Take care, everybody.
Peace.